Hey, what's up guys? Chris here from securitybros, back with another video. And in today's video I will go over all the security cameras that I tested and reviewed in 2020 and tell you my favorites, which I think is worth buying in 2021. So this is all the cameras that I reviewed last year, well except for one, which is the Anki 4K dome camera that got destroyed in a vandal-proof test I did. And the total number of cameras here on the table is 30, and most of these cameras are considered budget cameras, but I also got some more expensive ones. And I should also mention that the cameras I'm going to recommend in this video are the cameras that I think is the best value for money, and doesn't necessarily mean they are the best cameras overall. So let's have a look at the first and the best auto tracking camera, which is the Sunba Illuminati. This camera sells for $460 at the moment, so it's not a cheap camera, but if you're looking for a really good auto tracking camera with great build quality, I would highly recommend this one. This camera can pan and tilt really fast, and it has a 25 times optical zoom and can rotate 360 degrees, and you can choose between 3 different smart tracking modes: line cross tracking, perimeter tracking and preset. Unfortunately, it cannot track and patrol at the same time. And by the way, you will find a full review of each camera on my channel if you want more info about a specific camera. I will also put my affiliate links in the video description below with the most updated prices if you're interested in buying any of these cameras in the video. Next camera I would recommend is the best budget PTZ Wi-Fi IP camera, which would be the 5 megapixel MySecQ. This camera sells for around $40 on AliExpress, and for that price this camera offers a lot of nice features. For example, it has great image quality with its 5 megapixel sensor, and this camera also supports auto tracking. However, you can't compare it with the Sunba Illuminati. You can also set preset points and then have the camera patrol between those preset points. It supports OnVIF, so you can connect the camera to most brands' NVRs or software that supports OnVIF. And you can also access the camera through a web browser, which you can't do on many cheap Wi-Fi IP cameras. Build quality of this camera is of course not the best. And the best POE PTZ camera that I reviewed in 2020, I would say, is this OEM Hikvision from Antvis. This one sells for around $120 on AliExpress, and it has a 4 megapixel sensor with a 4 times optical zoom, 2.8 to 12 millimeter lens. It can record audio and supports up to 256 GB micro SD card, and it can pan 330 degrees and tilt 90 degrees. Unfortunately, it can't patrol, so you have to use preset points to move the camera. You can use the Hike Connect app to watch live view, record and playback on your smartphone. So for the best outdoor bullet Wi-Fi IP camera, I would recommend the EasyVis C3N. It doesn't have the best image quality in the world, but considering its low price with all the features it has, I think it's a great value security camera. It sells for around $43, and the camera have 2 white LED lights for full color nighttime recording, which can be set to automatically turn on when the camera detects motion. It also has something called AI human detection, which means the camera can tell the difference between a person and a moving tree, for example. The only con is the image quality, which could have been better, and there are other cameras that I reviewed last year that are both cheaper and better image quality, but EasyVis is a trusted brand and their app is great as well. So that's my pick for the best outdoor bullet Wi-Fi IP camera. Next camera is the best 4K POE IP security camera, and here I was deciding between 2 cameras, the Reolink RLC 810A and the Anki 4K Turret, and they are both great cameras, but I think overall the best one is the Reolink RLC 810A, just because it's easier to set up and use with the Reolink app. It sells for around $90, and this camera have great image quality and can record 4K at 25 frames per second. It also have person and vehicle detection, which means the camera can tell the difference between different moving objects, which will help reduce false alarms. And I like the Reolink app. It's really easy to use and access playback saved on the SD card. So definitely a camera worth checking out in 2021. And the last camera I'm going to recommend is the best battery-powered security camera that I reviewed in 2020, and that would be the Cami wire-free outdoor security camera. This camera sells for around $75 on Amazon, and it comes with 4 18650 batteries, and according to Cami, the batteries could last up to 2 months depending on your settings. The camera have a IP65 rating, which means it's weatherproof and shouldn't have any problem with rain. However, I would recommend using some kind of cover, just to make sure it lasts as long as possible. You can place it anywhere and have the camera to record to the SD card, but if you want access to the camera through the app, it needs to be within 10-15 meters of your router. Okay, so that's some of my favorite cameras that I think is worth buying in 2021. Of course, there are many great cameras here on the table, and at the end of the day, it all depends on what you're going to use the camera for and what your budget is. For example, this POE PTZ camera is obviously much higher quality than the 5 megapixel MySeq, but many people don't want to or can't afford spending $200 on a camera. So I always consider price versus what features and overall performance the camera has when I recommend a camera. Alright guys, I hope you found this video somewhat useful, and if you're interested in more videos like this, why not subscribe to my channel? It's free. See you next time.